So here we are, week number 3, video number 3 of my journey into motorsport in 2020. So quite a lot to get through in this one, so most of it's going to be me speaking as I drive along to work. As you may be aware already, my car has been in the building process for the last couple of weeks now. So it sort of started towards the start of January, and basically now a month on, it's pretty much ready. So what it is, it's a used car that a racing team took and are building up for me for a somewhat new championship in 2020. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you, hopefully in the next video, the one after this. I'm not sure how I'm gonna play that, but yeah, soon I'll show you off the race car. But yeah, it's been in the process of being built, and my mentality was that, you know, I look at the cars on Race Car Direct, you don't really know, you know, how long they've been without, you know, like a proper service or going over, so you could be spending thousands of pounds just getting that car right. And that was always a little bit of a worry for me, because I don't have much of a mechanical background, or very little mechanics knowledge. So I don't want to be buying a car that's hopefully going to have loads of inherent issues or possible inherent issues. So hopefully this one is going to be, you know, good for me, and hopefully, you know, buying a car that's been prepared by a race team and has had all the parts changed very recently is going to be better for me. Yeah, that's exciting stuff. Alongside that, I went and renewed my race license. I mean, I guess you probably thought that was a given at this point. I need to renew my race license to go racing in 2020. So yeah, I'm happy to get that sorted. I mean, Motorsport UK are pretty quick with their turnaround. So, I mean, I put it in, and then I think less than a week later they'd already got that all sorted. I suppose they already had all my information and stuff on the system, but obviously much less to go through this year. I don't have to go and do an ARDS test again. I don't have to do any sort of license, really. You know, my license that I have now is all good enough, really. I don't need to go and do any more. You don't need to do a refresher session or anything like that. So, of course, I'll be going to do some pre-season testing at some point. I've still got to work out exactly what my race calendar is for 2020, because, you know, I haven't got a massive budget. You know, I've just left university. I've got my first job. Very much sort of playing it a bit cautiously in this first year. I don't want to go crazy, and I want to enjoy myself, but I don't want to be at the end of the season thinking I'm regretting I spent too much money, for example. So yeah, I'm gonna play it cautiously early on, and I'll let you know what my race calendar is at some point. So we went to a place called Q Leisure, which isn't actually too far away from where we live. So it was nice to do a different track, and personally I think all of us really enjoyed it. A really nice track, and, you know, nice friendly staff. It was a really nice little venue and experience. But the big drawback for me, for someone that wants to produce videos out of these karting events, basically, is that they wouldn't allow you to have a GoPro on your helmet or anywhere on your person whilst out on track, which is a big shame. It had rained, so there were some big water splashes, and the track inherently was wet as well. So yeah, I'm a bit gutted that I can't show you that footage, but I did sort of, I guess, sneakily ask, can I put my GoPro sort of on the top of one of these sort of buildings? And they were like, yeah, cool, go for it. And I was like, yes, thankfully, because now I can still kind of use a video out of it, even though it wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I'll show you a little bit of footage now. It's not that spectacular because of the angles that we had to play with, but yeah, it's a nice little different track, and let me know if you can see me sort of sending it over the curves once, because I properly went over the curves in one of the last corners, but before we went under the bridge, and I got quite a lot of mud all over myself, so maybe pushing a little bit too hard there. So this is Q Leisure, and you can see here got one of the cameras placed in the little bridge segment. So we'll pause in a second just so you're aware fully who I am. And unfortunately, two wide angles here. So there's me. The arrow is pointing at me. So I've got the white helmet on and black and red overalls. So hopefully you can distinguish me. I don't think anyone else actually has a white helmet on, which is actually quite useful, because normally that's the one that everyone gets given. But yeah, good stuff. As I go away here, and I've got the other camera placed the other part of the start-finish sort of straight, I guess, if you will, even though this isn't really the start-finish straight, this is just where the pits are. So the nice wide angle here can show lots of mayhem. You can see in the bottom left of your screen now, one of my friends, Tom C, gets punted off into the wall as someone just moves across him. That's a bit unfortunate for him there. You see me flying through the first couple of corners here. This all was taken from the second session. I didn't really have time to think through in the first session where I could place a camera, but thankfully in between sessions they allowed me to go and place the camera, so that was nice. It's nice to get something out of this, and it's nice memories to look at, but unfortunately no analysis can be given really from this footage here. So I think that was possibly the corner where I was flying over the curves, but unfortunately it's such a wide angle you can't really tell there. But if you sort of look to the middle of the screen, it's sort of a red sort of soft pillowy section, that corner there, that's where I sort of flew over the curbs on the inside. And if we go to the last lap here, unfortunately this gentleman spun in front of me at the last corner of the last lap. I just sort of hit him at the side. I give him the sorry hands. I mean, it was him spinning around in front of me, but that's what it was. But thankfully, still a lot of fun. Great fun there at Q Leisure. I'd recommend to anyone to go there to just experience ride and drive karting. It was really good fun. Obviously a shame about the cameras, but certain tracks have certain rules, and I guess you can't really do anything about it as a driver. So yeah, a bit of a shame, but nonetheless I think the experience around the track was really, really enjoyable, and somewhat made up for the fact that we couldn't look back at the footage later on. But yeah, nonetheless very happy with the whole experience. And if you want to know the results, I managed to win the first time trial quite comfortably by about 0.7 of a second over Tom and Tom L, main championship contender. And yeah, then in the second session I was just ahead of Tom. It was 0.05, so it was really, really close in the second session. Quite remarkably really, because you think we're out there for 15 minutes, so we're getting probably near enough 20 laps, and to be separated by such a little margin after then is really exciting. And I think it sort of shows in the championship that we are very, very close, and it's separated by very fine margins, which is great for me because it's a really good learning experience battling with Tom, because sometimes he has the upper hand, sometimes I have the upper hand, and then when you don't have the upper hand, it's about trying to overcome them and still get a result. So if we look back to the first round of our little season, I think I had the upper hand for that first event at Filching Manor, but Tom still came back. He got the reverse grid sorted, he got the race victory in that one, and sort of stopped the points deficit being too much after that first round, even though it looked like I was going to dominate it. So I know some people are probably thinking, oh, you're taking your karting too seriously, it's just rental karting and all their rubbish karts, etc, etc. But yeah, I just really enjoy it, and I like making a little championship out of it. It just adds that extra, I guess, little bit of competition to the whole karting thing. And I think I'm always a competitive person, so I kind of always make stuff competitive even though it doesn't need to be. I don't know, that's probably not a great trait from time to time, but yeah, nonetheless I'm happy to come away with some good results from Q Leisure, and hopefully we'll be back in the future. Sorry, this little twisty lane that I've got to go down to get to, well, I don't have to go down, but it's a bit of a shortcut to get to work, is not the funnest road to drive down, especially when it's been cold in the morning. But yeah, I need to get to work on time. So yeah, karting all good, very happy with that. And we've only got one round to go now, that's at Lid. And Lid's probably my favourite circuit on our calendar that we normally go to. Q Leisure might now be up there. It's kind of tough because I like every track in its own different ways. Maybe not so much Bayford after the last round, I mean that couldn't have gone much worse for me. But yeah, nonetheless, Lid is a track I absolutely enjoy. It really rewards big commitment, and yeah, it's a track I feel like I can get close to the edge. I still know I'm not on the edge of what lap time can be. I still know there's definitely quicker guys out there, but it's a track where I feel a little bit more confident that I could do well against other people. So yeah, looking forward to that. That's going to be in a couple of weeks' time, but the way and the layout of the way I'm producing these videos means it probably won't be for another 2 or 3 episodes where you'll see that, and I'll try and make a big sort of episode on it, the karting finale. Hopefully that can add a little bit of drama to it, and it's, the championship's wide open, let's say that, between myself and Tom. I mean, I know I have the points advantage now, but the way the points are laid out means that it could be, it could go either way. I mean, if I have issues like I did at Bayford especially, I mean, it's completely wide open. Tom would probably take the lead of the championship quite comfortably if I had another issue, but we'll see. We'll get to that in a couple of weeks' time, and I hope you enjoy the episode of that when it comes out. So something nice for me is that we've sorted a tow car for this whole journey. I guess it does get quite expensive quite quickly when you've got to think about getting a trailer, possibly a license, a towing vehicle, the race car itself, or the entry fees. It does get quite expensive quite quickly, and maybe even a little bit more than I expected. I did expect it to cost pretty much what I've ended up paying, but I guess there's always those little hidden things that you didn't really think about in full detail. But it is what it is. But nonetheless, the towing vehicle all sorted, so I'm looking forward to getting that soon. And I'd like to make a video maybe on like towing and basically how you go about choosing the right vehicle, because there are so many options out there. We went for the one that kind of worked for our budget and for what we need in terms of towing capabilities, if I can say it right. But of course, if you've got a heavier car or a lighter car, you might be able to get away with something different. I guess the car's somewhat in the middle. It's weighing about 1,100 kilos. So, I mean, I know you can get Caterhams that weigh 500-600 kilos, and I'm sure you can get stuff that weighs closer to 2 tons. So I guess ours is kind of somewhat in the middle. So I'll make a video about that at some point and maybe discuss what is the best tow car that you can get for motorsport. But that's exciting, so I'll pick up that soon. Overall, really looking forward to this year, and just sort of dipping my foot into the water rather than just the toe. Is that an analogy? I don't know. But going a bit more in depth with motorsport this year, and just really hoping that I enjoy myself. That's the main thing. I think one of the big worries is that I won't enjoy it, and that sounds really stupid. It does sound really stupid that I won't enjoy it, but maybe because of all of the exterior pressures, maybe I wouldn't enjoy it for some reason. We'll see as it goes on, but you'll be on this journey with me, so you'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I've got to say in this one. I'm looking forward to the next couple of episodes, so we're going to be showing you the car. I'm also going on a road trip next week because, as you probably know, the F1 season starts to get pretty busy towards the end of February onwards. I mean, you've got testing and then the races basically start. So from the middle of February onwards, I'm basically full-time chock-a-block for a month and a half, 2 months with F1 stuff. So I decided I'm going to take myself a little bit of a break. I want to go down to Devon and then up to Wales, and then sort of through the central Wales to the Brecon Beacons up to like Anglesey at the top and then back. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to bring you a little video on this channel as well, a nice little road trip. I mean, I've been sort of scouting out good roads. I got this book last year about really good roads in Europe and the world, so I looked through that, picked out some big ones, and hopefully I'm just going to be in a really nice little experience, because also it'll be one of the last times that I properly drive the Fiat to Bath, because that's going to be going back on its finance agreement thing soon, kind of being replaced by my tow vehicle. So it's sort of a last hurrah for the Fiat, and it'd be nice to drive around that because it's a really fun little car to drive, especially on good roads. So that's to come. Road trip, the car, maybe something about the towing vehicle, the karting finale. I mean, there's 4 videos right there kind of sorted for the next month or so, and then we kind of get into pre-season of my racing. So, going testing, doing my trailer license, that'll be somewhere thrown in the middle of all that as well. So there's a lot going on alongside work as well, so I'm just trying to fit it all out. But it's an exciting time. I'm looking forward to it all happening, and thank you for joining me on this journey. I appreciate the continued support, and I also saw in the last episode even better support, which is really nice, so thank you. I appreciate that. And I think I've rambled on long enough. I know I say that at the end of every video, but it's kind of just apologising for speaking too much. But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and should be a good few weeks. I'm really looking forward to this. So thanks again, guys. All the best. Goodbye.